Ken Bruce played a new single this morning. It's called What Is It You Want? And that's a new record by Nell Bryden. Nell, did you tune in and listen to Ken Bruce playing it this morning?
Oh, I certainly did. I was on from 9:30 in the morning on, and I was like, oh, listen to that butter voice of Ken. Oh,
he certainly has dulcet tones, mellifluous tones. It's very nice to see you. Welcome back with a new single. I know there's an album coming next year. There's a tour coming before that. But do you remember the first time a song of yours was played on the radio?
I actually do, yeah. I remember, well, the first song that was ever played on the radio was when I was over in America and I sent over a handwritten package to Bob Harris and he played it, which was amazing. But the first time I got playlisted, I was sitting in an O2 cell phone store in Dublin thinking, what's going on with my life? What's ever going to happen here? And then I heard the good news that it was playlisted, and the rest is amazing, yeah.
Trust that it would be Bob to discover a new talent.
Bob's amazing. Yeah. He's the only guy I know that from a national radio station opens a package that's a handwritten package like that.
You're kidding me on.
No,
seriously.
He did, yeah.
Well, you saying other people have people to do it for them?
Maybe. Yeah. Actually, maybe it was an assistant now, come to think of it.
I know, it would be Bob.
Yeah.
But what's amazing, and let's talk about him for just a second, then we'll come back to you. It's the enthusiasm and the hunger to find something new, which has not diminished over the years. And you know, it's a 50-year career searching for something new.
That's just it. He's a real music lover, and I got a lot of time for people that are real music lovers. So it's wonderful for us musicians.
So was it good hearing your new song on the radio this morning?
Oh, it was so exciting. It never gets old. I partly wish that I could have been in the car driving around, because I would have just been tooting the horn and being a real nerd about it. But it never gets old. I mean, Radio 2 has been so kind to me over the years, and then here I come back with another single, and it still feels just as fresh and exciting. Do
the songs that have been hits get old to you? And I sometimes wonder this, maybe not with you because you have a great career, but it's not 30 years yet. God willing it will be. But you just sometimes wonder if you're Mick Jagger or Elton John.
Or Don McLean. I mean, him playing American Pie, I heard he just sort of, couldn't do it anymore. He just hit the wall. Well, I don't know. I actually think when I play live, when you get that feeling, you start to shake it up. You think more of like a jazz musician where you improvise a little bit and you bring a freshness to it. But there are certainly songs that I don't mind playing, and there's other songs that I'd rather never play again.
But you still play them anyway for your audience.
Anyway,
yeah, of course. I won't ask you which ones, because that would really spoil it, wouldn't it? It's been a couple of years since your last album. You did have a live album out last year, I know this, but what does Nell Bryden do between albums apart from writing the next album?
Well, I make babies and get married.
Congratulations. You're not going to do that between every album, though, right?
Well, hopefully not, because I'll end up with 20 kids.
And multiple husbands.
No, I'd like to stick with the one, please.
Yeah, good, he's listening, yes. I'm sure. Yeah.
No, actually, I took a little time out to have some personal time, which was wonderful, and it was not mutually exclusive with the music career, because as a songwriter, there's so much to pull from in terms of personal relationships, and often when you finally get happy and finally get balanced in your life, then you can sort of reflect back on the relationships that didn't work as well, and mine those as things that you can write these heartbreak songs about. But when you're lost in the mire of it all at the time, it's very difficult to channel that. So it took happiness and taking a step back to write this next album.
Dating a songwriter must be quite a precarious thing to do, because you're just going to be material, aren't you?
I think that it would probably be a disaster for anyone. Yeah. Imagine what it's like for Taylor Swift's exes. No wonder there's nobody lining up.
Yeah, social media queuing up to berate you.
It would be tough.
Do you still write far more songs than you need? Because I remember talking with you down the years, and you'd like 40 songs or something, and then put a dozen on the record.
Yeah, well, you have to do that, because every song you write is not going to be good, so you just have to kind of get it out of your system. But I know people that write hundreds of songs. I feel like there's people far more prolific than I am. And my father is an artist. He paints pictures, and he paints maybe 30 pictures every month. Yeah. I mean, it's insane. If I wrote 30 songs every month, I would have a catalog of tens of thousands of songs at this point.
Yeah.
So
one a day.
Yeah,
tune
one
a day. Do you remember do you remember the old guitar tune a day books?
Tune a day. Oh my gosh. Right. Well, I don't know. I don't think of myself as a particularly prolific person, but I think I kind of save up the emotions, and then when it comes down to writing some things, then I'll try to just have it all amalgamated.
And as well as lovely little Tala and a new husband, you also do the odd radio show between albums as well. And you're three shows into your 4th show series of this series of Nell's Angels.
Yeah, you didn't actually trip up on any of that. I don't know how you'd say that 5 times fast.
I definitely wouldn't. I'd never attempted more than once. But firstly, great title.
Thanks.
Part of the secret of a great radio show is coming up with a great title.
Nell's Angels. Yes. Yeah, it came to me when I was watching a documentary on the Hells Angels, actually, of course. And I thought, when I came up with this show, I thought, well, okay, of course there's so many songs in the world that have really affected me during the years, but primarily a lot of the people that have affected me have been women, have been their voices and their power and their ability to really, get that emotion and that rawness and that life across in their songs, whether they wrote the songs or not, really is kind of not really here or there. And so I started to make a list of all the women that had really affected me over the years. And then that list was so large that I could kind of put it into various genres, and then those genres naturally became weeks. So this week is the Roots and Americana week, and of course I've got people like Lucinda Williams and Loretta Lynn and Alison Krauss. I mean, there's just wonderful women in there, and every week it's just been. Last week was the Women of Rock. I got to play Janis Joplin. She's just someone who made me want to be a songwriter. So these are women that I felt like were friends of mine over the years, just by the very nature of their intimacy and the way that they projected their emotion and their voice. And I was so pleased to be able to put together a show around that.
Well, and we'll hear that tonight at 10. And the previous episodes are on the iPlayer.
They are.
Nell's Angels. Can we play the Robert Plant, Alison Krauss record?
You
just
certainly
because you're
can.
featuring her
because
tonight.
I didn't play this because Robert Plant was in it, and it's ladies only, really. So I'm so pleased you're playing this song, and I love this album, Raising Sand. Robert and Alison did a wonderful collaboration, so let's definitely hear that.
We'll do beautifully DJ'd as well. Thank you very much. And then we'll come and talk about you and play your new song, Nell Bryden. Robert Plant with Alison Krauss, who does feature solo on Nell's Angels, Nell Bryden's show tonight. And I will tell you, listener, Nell was just telling me there, you better watch out, Mark, this song is ending. You're so into this radio thing, aren't you?
I am. Well, we were just having a lovely chat about Nashville and New York and Robert Plant and all this stuff, and you were deep in thought, and I felt terribly rude. I was like, Mark, the song's about to end. So
listen, I just need all the help I can get. So I'm going to take it. So we think of you as a New Yorker, which of course you are. You've lived a lot of your time here, but you've also lived and studied in Boston, which I think is such a nice city. It's a great city for the Brits to visit.
Yeah.
We feel really at home there. It's the
what is it? Is it maybe
the Irishness?
It's the Irishness and the education system there. There's so many different universities and colleges in Boston. So I was really a cliche. I went to university in Boston. So, I mean, everybody kind of does time there as a student.
Is that really right?
Yes. Yeah. It's really a town of students. And so I went to the same college that Hillary Clinton went to. So she had the Hillary effect on the college. And there's a lot of girls that ended up going there just because of her. But it was an all-girls school. So I wouldn't say there was a lot of partying going on. I had to go into Boston to the folk clubs to get any kind of career and party go on.
Yeah, well, you've certainly found a direction in life, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. Yes.
And you what did you think you would do when you went to study English? Did you think you would be an English teacher? Or, you always knew you were going to do this.
No. Before I started university, I knew I was going to be a singer. In fact, it was probably a bit of a reach to be able to go to university because most people would have just started out at the age of 14, tried to get signed to a record label, and never looked back. But I think I probably selfishly wanted an education. I just felt like there was something in literature that was going to help me not only as a songwriter but as a person and as an intellectual. The way that you view the world is very different once you've had a degree, and that really, I think, formed who I was, and then also made me maybe a couple of years behind when I started out in the music business. But oh well,
you're catching up though.
Yeah.
Now your Twitter says Nell, and it says New York/London.
Yes.
So you still feel really rooted in two places?
It's still home. It really is. Yeah, well, we spent all summer back there. I was over with Alistair and Tala, and we were with all the family. And, we've got 7 different grandparents all fighting for Tala's attention. And it's just, it's a town that no matter how long I'm away from it and how much it's changed, because New York is always changing, but it always feels like it has that quintessential home feeling to me. And I really appreciate the people there. I appreciate the sort of no bull that they really put out. They really tell it like it is. Unlike a place like Los Angeles, they really are going to tell you what they think, And I love that. It's so the opposite of passive aggressive. It's wonderful.
So when you watch the Olympics, who are you rooting for? Team GB or Team USA?
Oh, I think probably these days I'm rooting for Team GB. Yeah, I mean I'm living here, so and actually GB is doing really well this year. It's so exciting to see it. Yeah,
good answer, correct answer. Because we wouldn't want to have to deport you.
Oh, good. Okay, all right.
Nell Bryden's tour starts in Durham at the Gala Theatre on the 8th of October, then going through Birmingham, Bath, Worcester, and then on through Worthing, Dundee. This is a great tour.
There's
of
a
venues
lot of places,
where you can see the audience, look them in the eye.
Yeah, they're theaters. They're nice, quality theaters where people can come for an evening. And there were so many years where I played sort of sticky rock clubs where there would be beer soaked on the floor and people would try to lift up their feet and they'd be stuck to the floor and I'd be up there trying to, and it's just, it's music that I think a theater really is more the way to go. So we've gotten it right this time on this tour. I've also done something a bit unorthodox on this tour. I've got an album coming out in January, but I decided, very much unlike most artists, to go out on tour before then because I have this background as being this kind of troubadour. I want to take the songs out that way for people to hear first. I know it's quite unorthodox, but it was something I wanted to do, so I thought that we'd do it a little differently.
But the album is ready.
The album's ready, yeah.
It is quite a weird thing to do, to not have the album to sell at the back of the gigs.
We have some teasers of singles coming out, and we've got some other things that that people along the way can hear. But I just thought it would be really important for people to hear it live first.
The album's called Bloom, and the tour is called Bloom. And where can people find out about tickets?
I think probably the best way is on my website, nellbryden.com. Yeah.
Cool.
There's probably multiple ways up there, and if you're a savvy social media person, you will find them. But for those of us that are like me, that need a pretty straight answer, it's nellbryden.com.
I was hoping for a straight answer. And then what is it you want?
Oh!
That's the new single title, by the way.
Yes, that's the single title. What is it I want? Well, I want world domination and peace and lots of money. And no, what is it I want is about is I'm able to tap into this because I'm in a very happy relationship right now. But I think we've all been in that situation of a relationship where you just don't quite know what is going to win this person over. You're bending over backwards for them, and I think, a lot of blues women can relate to this sense of, a lot of the women I've played in Nell's Angels probably could have sung this song. So,
well, we're about to hear it, and Nell, you're on the air 10 o'clock tonight, part 3 of 4 in the latest series of Nell's Angels. I'm sure there'll be many more. It sounds like a very repeatable series
I hope
to me.
So.
Meanwhile, the new single is imminent. The album comes January. The tour starts in October. Details at nellbryden.com.
Well done.
As ever, very nice to see you.
Thanks,
Take
Mark.
care. Special guest Nell Bryden. That's her new song, What Is It You Want? And she's on with Nell's Angels at 10 tonight. Wednesday's guest here, Michael Kiwanuka, who's another very